Pia, is it your first class?
Yes, sir, it's my first class.
Okay, fine. So we are going to start. We have in human physiology, we have already completed digestion and absorption. And today we are going to start with this part, human respiratory system, right? Breathing and exchange of the gases. That is the name of the chapter exactly. And basically, this is a part of human physiology, and we are going to start with the human respiratory system, right? So this is the human respiratory system, and both lungs are not equal. One of the lung is larger and one of the lung is a smaller one. So what is the reason behind it? I'll tell you. Look, this is the respiratory system. First thing that this is the windpipe. Windpipe is also known as the trachea. So windpipe and trachea, this is bit of cartilages. So cartilages, they are the flexible kind of the bone. They are flexible bones, right? So cartilage rings are not complete ring. They are incomplete ring, this kind of the ring. So this is the trachea, and the front part is made up of cartilage, but the back side they are not complete. So that is they are made up of incomplete thing. Further, trachea get divided into two parts, bronchus. So they are plural bronchi. So there are two bronchi, right bronchus and left bronchus. Every bronchus goes inside the lungs. Further, bronchus uh, branch out into bronchioles, and finally the bronchioles end up with the balloon-like structure, and these are called alveoli. So alveoli are meant for exchange of the gases. My question is that uh, alveoli are made up of what kind of the tissue? Can you tell me, any of you, both of you? Alveoli are made up of from which tissue? That is my question. What is the name of that tissue which makes alveoli? Come on, be quick. Any idea? So look, alveoli are basically, they are made up of epithelial tissue, right? Very important question. They are made up of epithelial tissue. There are number of the epithelial tissue: squamous epithelial tissue, ciliary epithelial tissue, columnar epithelial tissue. So basically, if you'll ask me, they are made up of squamous epithelial tissue, right? So these are the tissue which are meant for exchange of the gases. Squamous tissues are they make very thin layer, and they are meant for the exchange of the gases, right? Again, windpipe or trachea. So inner layer of windpipe or trachea. Try to understand that. I will tell you once again. Right. So look, the upper part which have respiratory system or lungs part, that is called thoracic cavity. Then there is a curtain like structure. This curtain like structure is called diaphragm. Diaphragm is a muscular structure, right, which separate this thoracic cavity, and the lower side, the lower cavity is called abdominal cavity. Abdominal cavity, basically it contains digestive system. It contains digestive system. So lower part contain digestive system, upper part thoracic cavity, that contain respiratory organ, right? Respiratory organ. Now come to the lower part, that is structure of the lungs. Look, this is the structure of lung. In a structure of lung, now here clearly you can see that both lungs are not equal. The left lung is a smaller one and right lung is larger one. A right lung, it is made up of three chamber, means three lobes. So there are three right lobes, and left part of the lungs, it is made up of only two lobes, right? And between there, why the left lung is a smaller one? Look here, this point of this point here, you can see at this point where my cursor is. This point, the heart get fixed, and heart is slightly left side, right? So it need a space. That's why the left lung give space to the heart. That's why the left part of the lung is the smaller one. And this part where the heart get fit, this is called cardiac notch. So cardiac notch is the place that is space is created by reducing the cavity of the left lungs. That's why the left lung is a smaller one, right? Again, the trachea, bronchus, and again all this part. One thing which is very important, look, there is a protective covering. It is made up of two layer, right? So lungs keep on they swell and they sink, they swell and they shrink. By this way, friction is created between the lungs and our cavity, right? If the lungs will be naked, they will rupture because of the frictional forces. So lungs remain covered with two membranes. They are called pleural. So pleura is protective membrane. It is made up of epithelial tissue, right? Pleura, inner pleura and outer pleura, between these two pleura, there is a fluid called pleural fluid. Pleural fluid that protect lungs from the jerk, it protect lungs from the any type of the shock, it protect lungs from the friction. Lower side of the lungs, there again is a diaphragm, again alveolar cavity, right? Now the most important part, right? What kind of the questions are being asked? This is important for exclusively for your medical examination, right? Respiratory organ in different animals. You must have studied the classification system, and classification system you must have studied all kind of the phylum and all kind of the organism, right? So look, in protozoa like amoeba and paramecium, the respiratory structures, so plasma membrane is respiratory structure, sometime pellicle. So pellicle is a membrane which is found exclusively in protozoa. It is made up of protein membrane and it is a stretchable membrane, right? Second one, that is a sponges. So sponges, they also respire with the help of plasma membrane. Cnidarians means like hydra, they respire, their respiratory structure are body wall, right? Ctenophora, again, they take the exchange of the gases takes place through the body wall. That you need to note it down, right? Again, next phylum is Platyhelminthes. The respiration takes place through the body wall. Here, one question I have been asked, these tapeworm from the tapeworm and liver fluke are the member of Platyhelminthes. You must be aware with that these both are anaerobic animal. They are anaerobes, right? So tapeworm and liver fluke, they do not require any exchange of the gas. Basically, they are the anaerobes, right? Anaerobic animals. Again, annelid, they respire through the body wall and gills. Arthropoda, so basically this is the largest phylum of the animal kingdom, and it have a class called insecta, which cover all the insects. So arthropoda have various kind of the respiratory structure. Look, arthropoda, some of the arthropoda which live in the water, they respire through the gills, like prawn. Most of the arthropoda, they respire through the trachea. Trachea, that is a network of hollow pipeline which open outside through a pore. The pores are called spiracles, right? So trachea is a hollow pipeline which is found in the insect, right? So directly exchange of the gas takes place from the external environment. So trachea is a respiratory organ found in the insect. Book lungs, this is found in scorpion and spider. Look, why they are called book lungs? This is the structure of book lung. So basically, they look like an open book. That's why they are called book lungs, right? So book lung are respiratory organs. So question I've been asked from trachea. Question I've been asked from book lungs. Question I've been asked from the tapeworm. Again, cutaneous respiration. It is also a respiration through skin. Takes place in mite. Molluscans, respiration takes place in gulls and through the gills, and pulmonary sac. Pulmonary sac is a lung-like structure. It's a precursor, or you can say it's a primitive lungs, right? So that takes place through lungs. In echinodermata, respiration takes place through the tube feet or water canal system. So what is a tube feet or water canal system? Look, this is the structure of echinodermata, means starfish. Starfish have this kind of the pipeline which are called tube feet. And again in chordata, means the animal which have the backbone. Fishes respire through the gills. Amphibian respire through the skin and lungs. Reptile, birds and mammals, they respire through the skin and lungs, right? So these are the important respiratory structures from where the question have already been asked, and they are again the potential questions. Tell me, is it clear or not? Do you want to note it down, all of you? Aisha and Fia?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, please note it down. They are very important. And from respiratory structure, question will come from here only. First, note down this part, and when you'll say, I'll scroll it upside.
Sir, actually, this is my first NEET class I'm joining.
Okay.
I don't know like how to. This is based on what, sir? How to learn this or what to do? I don't know.
Actually, what I show you, like I have said that please, you want to note it down. You need to note it down. So please note down these kind of the thing, right? I'll explain you because for this is exclusively for NEET examination, right? So theoretical part
Yes,
I
sir.
won't explain because you have already covered it. I'm sorry. So and then what you had need to note down, like you need to note down these things and you need to cram that.
Okay, sir.
And I'll keep on telling you what kind of the question are being asked. So I'll discuss here in this class only those are which are the potential question for NEET. Either they are conceptual question or they'll be factual question. Like this is the factual question.
Okay, sir. So whatever you're saying to note, only that to note is enough.
Right. Theory you need not to note down. And after the class, you can get
Okay,
the
sir.
link of this class. Even after the class, you can go through with these PPT by your own by getting the link from the coordinator. Fine.
Okay. Sir, is there any other chapters done? It's going as per.
Yeah. Basically, we have already completed the that one digestive system, first 16 chapter 16, right? You can get the link of that class as well.
You'll be sharing the PPT, sir?
No. Actually, the coordinator who have contacted you, they will share the PPT and they will share the link of this video class as well. They have the backup of video class as well, right?
Okay,
And after
sir.
going through with that chapter, in case if you feel there is that you are facing any problem, you can contact to us, right? I'll explain you again those
Okay.
problems. I'll sort out those problems, right? Done? Okay, great. Fine. So come to the next part. Human lungs. Here are some questions which I'll dictate you. The first question. I have seen the question directly from this diagram. What question have been asked? Here you have to remember, keep this diagram in your mind. What was the question? Let me tell you. Which of the following is a respiratory part? Right. Which of the sorry, no, this was not a question. Exactly, the question was not respiratory part, respiratory tract. Question was that like it was designed like that. I mean, the question, let me tell you exactly question. I'm unable to recall that question. Exact question. The question want to ask you that which of the following part is not transport, which of the following is not transporting part, right? Which of the following is not transporting part? It means the part which is not meant for transportation of gas, rather it is for the exchange of the gas. Look, the trachea. Here, the exchange of gas do not take place. This part only transport the gases first. Again, bronchus. Bronchus is also not meant for exchange of gases. Secondary bronchus, tertiary bronchi. Right. This bronchus And again, this is bronchi. Even the bronchi are not meant for the transportation of the gas. Again, bronchioles, they are not terminal bronchiole. They are not meant for exchange of the gases. Respiratory bronchiole, this is the bronchiole which is meant for exchange of the gases. Means from here onward, transport of gas, exchange of gases take place. Then further it takes place in the alveoli. These both are the respiratory part, right? Rest of the part are the transporting part, conducting part. Okay, so look here, clearly it is written. Conducting part is that part where conduction of gas takes place. Means transport, they are meant for only transport of gases, right? But respiratory part are meant for exchange, right? They are meant for exchange of gases, right? So respiratory bronchiole and alveolar sac, they are meant for exchange of the gases. Is it clear or not? Clear?
Yes, sir.
So the question was that which of the following is not conducting part? So answer was respiratory bronchiole. It is not a conducting part. It is a respiratory part. Now come to the human respiratory system in detail. Here we will talk about the human respiratory system. Look, this is the nostril, means the pores in our nose. Then there is a space inside our nose that is called nasal cavity. Inside here, you can see these three structures. They are basically called nasal conchae, right? Further from nasal conchae, below and mouth, this is the oral cavity, the space inside our mouth. Then nasal cavity and oral cavity both meet at a point, and that part is called pharynx. So pharynx is that part, with that pharynx is a common part where oral cavity and nasal cavity meet, means where the respiratory tract and digestive tract meet. From here onward, means pharynx onward, the respiratory tract and digestive tract both will get separate, right? Now in respiratory tract, this part is called larynx. Larynx is called sound box. Try to understand. I am going to explain what is the larynx, right? Larynx is called sound box. With the help of larynx, we speak, right? So what is the name of sound box of bird? Please tell me. Name of sound box of bird. Bird like parrot, they can repeat our sentences. They can repeat, or they can again talk to us. Like they speak like human. Sometimes when we train them, laughing jack, that can copy human voice, right? So there are some birds which can speak. So they also have a sound box. So larynx is the sound box of human. What is the name of sound box of birds? Please note down. I have written over here. Syrinx, SYRNX. Please note down. Syrinx is the sound box of birds to speak like human. Syrinx, SYRENX. Syrinx is sound box of bird which help them to speak. Now come to human larynx. So basically there is a difference in the sound of male and female, even the sound of children. Why? Basically there is a difference in the male and female larynx, right? This difference is bring about by sex hormone. Testosterone make like it make a different kind of larynx, and progesterone that make a different kind of larynx, right? That's why the sound of male and female is different. Look, larynx of this thing you have to copy as it is. Larynx is made up of two pair of membrane, upper pair and lower pair. Upper pair is called false vocal cord. This question have been asked already. The upper pair of vocal cord is called false vocal cord. Lower pair of vocal cord is called true vocal cord, right? Now, why the difference in the sound of male and female? Right. So first, try to understand, and then I'll explain. The vocal cord is thicker and larger in men. That's why vibrations are less. Hence, the sound is louder. Vocal cord is thin and small in women. That's why there are more vibration. and the sound have more frequency and it is thrilling sound, right? So please note down. First, larynx is, in bracket sound box, larynx is made up of two pair of membrane, full stop. Upper pair is called, underline upper pair. Upper pair is called false vocal cord. Upper pair is called false vocal cord. Full stop. Lower pair is called lower pair is called lower pair is called lower pair is called true vocal cord. Full stop. Vocal cord are thicker and vocal cord are thicker vocal cord are thicker and larger in men. Just give me 1 second. Hold on. Please note down. The vocal cord is thicker and larger in men. Vocal cord is thicker and larger in men. That's why sound is that's why sound is that's why sound is louder and having low frequency. Having low frequency. Full stop. Next point. Vocal cord are thin and small. In women's, that's why produces shrilling sound and have high frequency. So basically, there is a great difference of frequency in the male and female sound. almost there is a frequency like women's have the double frequency of men, right? So that's why the female and even children have more frequency. That's why their sound is more shrilling. Okay. So again, the pleura I have already explained. There are two pleura, outer and inner pleura. Outer pleura is called parietal pleura, and inner pleura is called visceral pleura. Between two pleura, there is a fluid that is called a pleural fluid, and it is secreted by these membranes only. Uh, that was just for your sake of your knowledge. Again, there is one more important thing. This trachea, this trachea. Trachea is made up of two kind of vessels. This is the structure of trachea, which I have mentioned over here. In trachea, the inner layer of trachea is made up of two kind of vessels, ciliary epithelium, and there are mucus cells, right? Both are epithelial cells, right? Ciliary epithelium have hair-like structure called cilia, right? These hair-like structure prevent entry of any carbon particle, any dust particle, and all that, right? Then there is a mucus cells. Mucus cells secrete some gel-like enzyme that is called mucus that trap the bacteria, dust, and other particle, right? And it is also a protective measure. And one more important thing, this mucus that we call cough, this mucus have enzyme called lysozyme. In case if any dust particle, bacteria, or virus come, this mucus will trap it. It won't allow them to go inside the lungs. It trap that, and this mucus cell plus lysozyme will kill that, right? So that's how it works. Clear? Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay, great. So birds have the sound box larynx, and that helps them in producing sound. Pia, is it clear? Is that clear?
Yes, sir, it's clear. Yes,
Great.
sir.
Now, one of the most important thing, the question I've been frequently asked from here. You'll see the question, right? There are respiratory or pulmonary volumes, right? I'll explain one by one. If you want, you can note it down, right? Better you note it down because there are one or two line definition, and it is very important. Look, what is the tidal volume, TV? So respiratory volume, the maximum question have been asked in this chapter, they are directly from either from respiratory volume or from the transport of the carbon dioxide, right? There are two parts from where the question have been asked, right? So you have to note it down these two parts, right? So first thing is that tidal volume. What is tidal volume? TV. What is tidal volume? TV. Tidal volume is basically the amount of the. Give me just a minute. Actually, I want to have a water.
Contacted Renata was sending me link. She l- um
Hello.
link from that can access all the chapters.
Hello.
Sir?
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Hello?
So, are you asking something?
Yes,
Yes, Priya. Please tell me.
contacted the coordinator. She gave me the link, sir. I went through it. There are like so much of chapters, sir. So, in how many chapters have we finished?
You have to do previous chapter digestive system, digestion and absorption, right? Chapter number 16.
But so much of. Okay.
Chapter number 16, right? Digestion and absorption. Fine.
No,
Hello.
but so much of things, sir. It's different.
So much thing is different over there.
I'll share that bit. I can't share it.
Look.
But it's
After.
different, sir. It's mostly of 11th, I think.
Yeah. Basically, we are going through the syllabus of 11th. This is in the NEET examination. You will get the syllabus for the both 11th as well as 12th. 12th you must be doing right now, right? In regular batches.
Yes, sir.
So here we are covering that part which part is difficult and that part which is comes under the 11th class syllabus, but it is a part of medical examination NEET. We are doing for the NEET 11th. Got it? 11th syllabus for NEET.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. So this is the human physiology part, right? So in human
the-
physiology part,
I can't find the system.
Fia, your voice is not clear to me actually.
I'm so sorry, sir.
No issue. Okay.
Sir, I can't find the human digestion part, sir.
You won't find. I'll ask them to share you again, right? Human digestive part. Fine. I'll ask them. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Yeah.
Okay,
I'll ask them. Fine.
Okay,
So
sir.
come here. Look, what is the tidal volume or TV? What is the tidal volume or TV? Look, tidal volume or TV is like, suppose that I am breathing in and I'm breathing out, right? Inspiring and expiring. So look, we are normally, I am teaching you and you are studying. We both are inspiring and expiring. Means we are taking air and taking out air. Look, the amount of every time I take the air and I take out the air, right? So in both of the cases, I take in 500 ml of air and I breathe out 500 ml of air. This 500 amount which I take in or take out normal condition, this is called tidal volume. This is 500 ml. So every time we take in air, we do not take in oxygen, because in atmosphere there is not only oxygen, air is present. Out of that, 21% is oxygen, right? So when the amount of air inspired or expired during normal breathing, that is called tidal volume or TV. This is 600 ml to 1800 ml per minute, right? So this is 1600. This is 600. Sorry, this is 6000 ml to 18,000 ml per minute. So this is 500 ml in one go, right? In once we take 500 ml and we take out 500 ml. This is called TV, tidal volume. Clear, Aisha? TV?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay. What is the IRV? Inspiratory reserve volume. Additional amount of air inspired by forcible inspiration. Look, I have just normal inspired 500 ml. Now I take deep breath, right? I put more force on the lungs. I am taking more air. So that amount of the more, other than this 500, what extra amount of the air I have taken in, that is called IRV, inspiratory reserve volume, that remains in reserve, right? So which normally I have taken in 500 ml, that is TV, tidal volume, right? Which normally I have expired, that is TV, tidal volume. When I inspired 500 ml, after 500 ml, the more air I have taken in, that is IRV, inspiratory reserve volume. Additional amount of air inspired by forcible inspiration is called TV. The amount of this volume is 2500 ml to 3000. Tell me, IRV clear or not?
Sir, so if we take a run and we come back, we breathe really fast. So does it come under IRV?
Again, Aisha, please, I didn't got you. Yes.
So
What you said?
when we go for a run and we come back, we breathe really fast. So does it come under IRB?
No, that is not IRV. Basically, that is TB only. But a TB increases. This is for the normal person when we are at the normal condition, right? When we are running, or if there is any athlete, athletes are not normal people, right? Their TB will be more than us. Their IRV will be more than us. ERV will be more than us, right? So when you run, right, on that time TB will increase, but we will call that TB only.
Okay, sir.
But when you put force, right, suppose that you relax and you are taking deep breath. Normally what the runner do when they take the rest, right, to take their body in normal condition, right, for the relaxation, right? So that is basically IRV and ERV. They use it because that is a forcible. For that IRV and ERV, you have to put your extra effort, right? For TB, you need not to put extra effort, right? Okay.
Okay, sir.
Right, ERV. So normally I have expired out TB 500 ml. Now I am putting more pressure. Now I am putting more pressure to expel out more gas. The gas other than that 500 ml, I expelled out. I expired out. That is called ERV, expiratory reserve volume. This is less than IRV. This is 1000 ml to 100 ml. Additional amount of air a person can expire forcibly, right? That is called forcibly. That is called that is called ERV, right? Then residual volume, right? RV, residual volume. So what is the residual volume? Residual volume
The
1100.
remaining air in lungs
Sorry.
after ERV.
Yeah.
The remaining air in lungs.
Exactly, the remaining air that cannot be expired out, right? That is residual. 1100 ml to 1200 ml. That cannot be expired out. Got it? So that is these are the four volumes. Clear to all of you?
Sir, so there is a fixed RV, and in that we are adding extra bit of tidal volume, and from that if we are doing it forcibly, it becomes IRV.
Right.
Inspiration. If we are doing it expiring forcibly, it becomes ERV.
Exactly. And which cannot be expired out, that is the RV, residual volume. Because if we'll expired all the gas, the lung will get stuck, right? And a person will die, right? So during that time, when you expired out this residual with this residual volume, it maintain that exchange of the gases. Clear to both of you?
Yes.
Great.
Yes, sir.
This is very important part. These are the very important part. You will get maximum question from here and the next one. Lungs capacities. This one. This is also important. From the previous one and from this one. You'll see maximum question I've been asked from this chapter from here only. Look. Inspiratory capacity. IC. It is tidal volume plus inspiratory reserve volume. So IC is equal to TV plus IRV. So we know that TV tidal volume is 500 ml and IRV is 2500 ml to 3000 ml. So IC will be 3000 to 3500 ml. Clear? Inspiratory capacity. The maximum capacity which we can inspire. That can be between 3000 to 3500. Normal plus forcible. Clear?
Yes, sir.
The same way, expiratory capacity, the maximum air you can expire out. The maximum air, normal plus forcible. So expiratory capacity same, TV plus ERV. So TV is 500 ml and ERV is 1100, 1000 to 1100. So total maximum air which you can expire out, that is 1500 ml to 1600. Clear?
Yes.
FRC, functional residual capacity, right? So this is residual volume, RV. We know 1100 to 1200, that cannot be expired out, plus expiratory reserve volume, ERV, 1000 to 1100, right? So normally the air which remains inside lungs, that is called functional residual capacity, normal air which remains in the lungs, right? So this is 1100 to 1200 plus 1000 to 1100, right? So that is almost 2100 ml to 2300 ml, right? Vital capacity, total lung capacity, total volume of lungs for gases, minus residual volume which remains inside. So that is 3400 4800 ml. And the vital capacity that depend on the age, sex, and volume. This is important. This question I've been asked, right? So vital capacity of a person. Look, if a person is athlete, his vital capacity will be maximum. His heart size will be double than that of us, and vital capacity will be more than twice of us, right? TLC, total lungs capacity. So TLC is total lungs capacity is vital capacity. This VC plus residual volume, which we have deducted over here, right? That is called TLC, total lung capacity. Tell me if you have any doubt in this one.
Also,
Clear?
yes.
Now I'll give you some glimpse of the questions which have been asked from this.
Scroll up so I can write
Sorry?
it down. So can you scroll up so I can write it down?
Yeah, sure. Please. Note down.
Okay, scroll.
Yes. Done? Okay, great. Fine. So let's do some questions which are related with all these topics. Here are some questions. So, by the way, I have written an answer over here. The reason behind it that uh, this is just for to give you some exposure about the questions. Some questions have been asked in NEET examination. Some are new questions over here. When there is a shortage of oxygen in our body, which organ is most affected? Intestine, skin, kidney, and brain. So first thing is brain. Brain is most affected. Why? Because the amount of oxygen which are most of the tissues take, maximum amount is taken by our nerve cells, right? They take the maximum, they produces maximum energy and take the maximum oxygen. That's why the first thing which is being affected, that is the brain, right? So the first brain will die in absence of oxygen, the brain will die. The first thing. Second, what can be used to represent the functional residual capacity? What is FRC? So that is, FRC is right. Okay. In addition to respiratory function, the lungs also play a role in excretion, temperature regulation, pH regulation, maintenance of the balance of the body. Basically, I want to tell you here some extra information. I want to give you some extra information. Lungs, first thing, that out of these all four options, the most important option is the temperature regulation. But not only the temperature regulation. This is lungs are not meant for the only temperature regulation. Basically, lungs are also involved. That question can be asked. Lungs are also involved some excretion, right? So excretion by lungs. So basically, lungs excrete out what? Alcohol. That's why if person have taken the alcohol, cannot be hide. Alcohol, spices, fragrance. We eat sweets, we eat most of the things which have fragrances. They are excreted out by the lungs, right? So alcohol, spices, and fragrances, they are excreted out by the lungs. Clear? So basically, excretion of spices takes through the lungs. That's why when you eat some spicy thing, then you will feel that the air which is inside your lungs, that become hotter. You feel hotter, right? The water comes out of your nose because the excretion of those spices takes place through the lungs, right? So here the answer is temperature regulation. Fine. What will happen if any thoracic
Sir, but
wall?
how it is involved in temperature regulation?
You must have seen. Don't take the example of. You'll feel now. You'll see that you can understand in better way. What a dog does when he feel hot, or when he suppose that a dog is running and he's feeling very hot. So what he do? He just take out his tongue and keep on taking out oxygen in and out. So basically, the internal heat come out through their breathes, right? So through the breathing, internal temperature come out because the circulation, blood is getting circulated across the lungs as well, right?
The answer can be in as well.
Sorry,
The answer can be in as well.
answer can be excretion as well.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, excretion can be answer, but major function here is maintaining the regulation. That is more primary function, right? That these dogs do not have sweating glands, right? They do not sweat. They do not have sweating glands and these pores. So they maintain their temperature through their tongues, right? And they with the help of lungs, right? So with the example of dog, you can understand easily. But it is also involved in the excretion. What will happen if thoracic wall is punctured and not the lungs? Thoracic wall is punctured, right? Means this outer skin part, outer flesh part punctured, not lungs. The lungs get inflated, the man dies, the breathing rate decreases, the man dies as the lungs collapse. Why? Because external pressure is more, right? External pressure is more. Then what will happen? The external air will go inside the cavity. And because of that, the lungs will collapse, right? Because of pressure.
Sir, but if the external air gets inside the lungs, that means it first it gets inflated, right? It gets so much
Right,
of
right.
air that it couldn't
Because
handle.
this cavity is packed over. This chest cavity is packed over, right? So when there is a low pressure inside, right, then only we can breathe in, right? So how we create? We put the pressure. Intercostal muscle come out, diaphragm go downward. That's how pressure. Then we breathe in. But if this wall will get puncture, we won't be able to create this pressure. So what will happen? Lung will collapse and we won't be able to breathe in, and that's why we will die. Got it or not?
Yes, sir.
In next class, we'll study what is the mechanism of respiration. Why is respiration in insect called direct? Tell me. I have already told you that trachea are the hollow pipeline which are found in the insect that exchange O2 and CO2 directly with the hemocoel is the cavity where blood remains filled. Hemocoel, which exchange with the tissue, right? So trachea is a pipeline where air remains filled and blood is found around the trachea, and they directly exchange the oxygen and carbon dioxide with the help of those trachea walls, right? So that's why it is called direct respiration. Okay, got it or not? Tell me.
Sir, what is hemocoel?
Hemocoel is basically the cavity where blood remains filled in insect. That is called hemocoel. The place, the part, or the space where blood remains filled. Got it?
So it does not have alveoli?
They do not have artery. That's why open circulatory system is found. They do not have artery and veins. Right? Look, their body remains in chamber. Suppose that this is an insect. Suppose that this is an insect body. Right? This is an body of insect, and there are some spaces. Right? These are spaces. There are some spaces where blood remains filled. This one, blood remains filled, and organ float on these blood. This blood. This cavity is called hemocoel. Hemocoel. This hemocoel is cavity. Okay, where blood remain filled. Right, this is called hemocoel. Okay,
Yes, sir.
a person suffer puncture in his chest cavity. The same thing. The puncture because of this. This is the same question I've been asked in different way. Right, this question. After forced expiration, some breathes in some volume of air by forced inspiration. After forced expiration, after forced expiration, someone breathed in some volume air by forced inspiration. What is this quantity of air taken is called? Vital capacity. The maximum air which you can take inside the lung, that is called VC, vital capacity. A normal man at rest inspire and expires 500 millimeter of air.
Sir, but it is forced inspiration, right? So it can be IRV, right?
No. After the forced expiration, first he expired out completely. So first he taken out 500 ml. Got it?
Okay.
Then
Okay,
1100 ml ERV. So first TV, then ERV expired out. Then he take again, right?
Yeah.
So that is vital capacity. Got it? ERV will be when a person will expire out maximum air in IRV will be when a person will expire in at the normal situation, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
A normal man, that is simple, that not inspire expire 500. What is the amount known as?